ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Hello, welcome and thanks for choosing to start your week with ADBN Television as we look to keep you abreast with news developments and discuss critical matters in the news. My name is Beto O'Brien. I'm not alone. I'm joined by the company of Chijoke Okafo. Good morning to you.
Well, good morning to you as well, Beto, and good morning to our esteemed viewers today. It is International Youth Day, and of course, it promises to be a very compelling show with lots of discussions surrounding youth sustainable ways for development. But before we delve into those discussions, let's head over to our news desk and join Amma Marcus for the latest updates from the news. Hello and good morning, Amma.
Hello Chijoke, good morning. Hello Beto, good morning. And welcome to ADBN News at 7. We bring you the latest headlines from across the nation and the world. I am Amma Marcus. Several state police commands in northern Nigeria have commenced the prosecution of individuals arrested during the recent #EndBadGovernance in Nigeria nationwide protest. These protests, which took place from the 1st to 10th of August 2024, were primarily in response to the rising cost of living, exacerbated by the removal of fuel subsidies, high inflation, and government economic policies that have significantly devalued the naira. While the protests remained relatively peaceful in the southern parts of the country, they turned violent in the north, resulting in the deaths of at least 17 people in Abuja, Kano, Niger, Borno, Kaduna, and Jigawa states. As the protest escalated, police force arrested numerous protesters, many of whom were charged with various offences, including criminal conspiracy, theft, unlawful assembly, inciting disturbance, and mischief by fire. Yobe State Police Command confirmed that 108 individuals had been arrested for violating curfew and other offences during the hunger protest, all set to be arraigned, while in Kano State, 632 individuals who were arrested for allegedly destroying property during the protest are scheduled to appear in court on 19th of August. Gombe State has also seen legal proceedings with 14 of the 111 arraigned protesters being released by a special court on grounds of ill health and being underaged. The remaining 97 individuals are scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday and Thursday. In Kaduna State, 25 protesters, including a tailor accused of sewing the Russian flag used by some demonstrators, are set to be charged in court after investigations are completed. Additionally, over 50 protesters have been arrested in Bauchi State for participating in the protest without police permission and for violent behavior. The State Commissioner for Police, CP Alwal Mohammed, confirmed the arrest and stated the protesters were detained for breaching law and order. Senate has strongly denied allegations suggesting it plays a role in determining its own salaries or benefits special financial packages from the presidency. Senate spokesman Senator Yemi Adaramodu, in a statement, dismissed the allegations as an attempt to crucify the legislature by the centurions of political hypocrisy. Senator Adaramodu asserted that no senator had received financial favors from the presidency. He clarified that the constituency projects associated with the legislature are simply recommended and nominated by senators following standard practices in other democracies worldwide. The Senate, he emphasized, only receives the salary allocated by the Revenue Mobilization Fiscal Allocation Commission in strict accordance with constitutional provisions and challenged anyone with credible evidence to prevent contrary facts. The Senate spokesman further explained that the executive branch, through its various ministries and agencies, is responsible for awarding contracts for constituency projects. The funds for these projects vary based on the number of constituencies in each state, with the aim of ensuring that every region of Nigeria benefits from federal resources. The Senate reaffirmed its commitment to upholding economic growth in the country. Program Director and CEO of the Presidential Initiative on Compressed Natural Gas, Engineer Michael Oluwagbemi, has revealed that compressed natural gas will reduce fuel cost for Nigerian cab drivers by approximately 70%. He made this revelation during the launch of the Rideshare CNG Conversion Initiative program at the My CNG app at the Portland Naseni Center in Abuja. Engineer Oluwagbemi highlighted the growing significance of the global ride-hailing market, which was valued at around $130 billion in 2020 and is projected to reach $230 billion by 2026. He noted that Africa's ride-share industry generated about $2.5 billion in 2020, with $290 million of that revenue coming from Nigeria, where 7 million people utilized the service. Minister for Information and National Orientation, represented by Dr. Mohammed Bulama, commended the PCNGI for its commitment to promoting CNG in line with President Bola Tinubu's vision for Nigeria's industrial transformation. Similarly, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Honorable Ekperikpe, highlighted the vital role of the rideshare sector in Nigeria's urban transportation system and the potential of CNG in leveraging the country's abundant natural gas reserves. Executive Chairman and CEO of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Mr. Khalil Suleiman Halilu, underscored the importance of the PICNG initiative in Nigeria's gas revolution, noting its central role in discussions about the country's energy future. Federal government is planning to provide affordable housing for Nigerian Air Force personnel and Nigerians across various income levels. Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is set to offer its estate in Bauchi State to the Air Force at a discounted rate for installations with installment payments option. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Dangiwa, revealed this during a visit by the Chief of Air Staff, Vice Air Marshal Hassan Balabo Abubakar, and other key officers to the ministry in Abuja. He assured the Air Force of the ministry's commitment to providing housing units under the National Housing Program at subsidized rates, emphasizing the importance of comfortable housing for those protecting the nation's security. Air Marshal Abubakar commended the minister's achievements and sought collaboration to secure affordable housing for Air Force personnel, both in service and post-service. He also requested that Bauchi NHP estates be provided to the Air Force at a discounted rate with favorable payment terms, stating this would significantly enhance operational readiness for the force. He added that the Air Force is ready to collaborate with the ministry through its housing and construction company in ongoing city and estate projects. Central Bank of Nigeria's quarterly statistical bulletin has revealed that over $493 million was spent on food imports in the last quarter of 2023, increasing to more than $689 million in the first quarter of 2024. Well, the escalating food prices in Nigeria are deepening the country's foreign exchange crisis, with about $1.183 billion spent on food imports between the last quarter of 2023 and the first quarter of 2024. Although the second quarter figures are yet to be released, it is expected that the amount spent on food imports will rise further due to the recent suspension of food duties on certain food items. Well, amid calls for governments to open borders for food imports as a temporary measure to control rising prices, President Bola Tinubu stated Nigeria will not rely on food imports to stabilize prices, but will instead focus on increasing domestic production. You're watching ADBN News at 7. Watch us on DSTV channel 258, on StarTimes channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. More stories to come after this break. Stay with us.
In a nation rich with history and culture, Nigerians face challenges that test the resilience and spirit of our people. From devastating floods to raging fires, from terror of kidnappings to the violence of banditry, emergencies strike without warning.
Any person can be ambushed, but we have dominated the bushes.
But in the face of danger, heroes rise. Discover the dedication, bravery, and teamwork behind every rescue. Witness stories of survival, hope, and the unbreakable spirit of Nigerians.
I am Nkechi Issa, and I invite you to join me on a journey into the heart of Nigeria's emergency response efforts. Together, we can overcome any challenge. Join us as we explore the resilience and heroism that define Nigeria.
Emergency Response, every Sunday at 6 p.m. only on ADBN. Stay prepared, stay safe, stay strong.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first praise.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. You're watching ADBN News at 7. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has dismantled a major cocaine syndicate and seized drugs worth billions of naira in nationwide raids. NDLEA spokesman Mr. Femi Babafemi reported that over 12 kilograms of cocaine was recovered in 2 shipments, 2.32 kilograms hidden in Ghanaian Kente fabric bound for the UK and 10.494 kilograms concealed in heavy-duty auto parts destined for the United States. Additional seizures include 517 grams of cocaine in clothing, pentazocine injections, promethazine injections, cocomadol injections, and tramadol pills, as well as 10 kilograms of synthetic cannabis. In Lagos, NDLEA also intercepted 532 parcels of synthetic cannabis weighing 265.25 kilograms at Tinkan Seaport and another 75 parcels weighing 37.5 kilograms from a separate container. In Adamawa State, 291.2 kilograms of cannabis was seized and over 1,200 kilograms of cannabis was destroyed in Kogi State. NDLEA Chairman Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa praised the agency's team for the successful operations and urged them to maintain their efforts in combating drug trafficking. Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has clarified that repairing or replacing faulty electricity transformers is the responsibility of power distribution companies, not customers. NERC's Commissioner for Consumer Affairs, Mrs. Aisha Mahmood, made the clarification during a problem-solving session with customers in Cross River and the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company. The event, known as the Customer Complaints Resolution Meeting, was convened to address issues like metering problems, excessive billing, and transformer vandalism. Mrs. Mahmood stressed that electricity bills are meant for service provision, not transformer repairs or replacements. She emphasized the regulatory body's commitment to ensuring all consumers have access to electricity. Meanwhile, Head of Corporate Communications at PHEDC, Mrs. Bukola Ilebave, acknowledged challenges with vandalism and stated that the company frequently replaces damaged transformers. She also noted that the customers can purchase their own meters if they prefer not to wait for the phased provision. House of Representatives member for Bakassi, Calabar South and Akpabuyo, Honorable Joseph Bassi, criticized PHEDC for failing to maintain infrastructure and called for adequate billing and equal access to electricity. Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation says it has reimbursed 82.36% of customers of the defunct Heritage Bank who have deposits below the 5 million naira maximum insured limit. This achievement was made possible through the use of bank verification numbers to allocate alternate accounts of the affected customers in other banks. The NDIC began these payments just 4 days of the bank's closure, marking a significant milestone in prompt depositor reimbursement. Director of Communications and Public Affairs at NDIC, Mr. Bashir Nihu, disclosed that customers with deposits exceeding 5 million naira insured limits have already received the initial insured sum. He explained that the remaining balances categorized in uninsured deposits will be paid out as liquidation dividends once the defunct bank's assets are realized and debts are recovered. NDIC also highlighted that 17.64% of the insured deposits have yet to be reimbursed. The cases involve depositors with accounts that have post-no debit instructions, lack BVN, or do not have alternative accounts in other banks. The corporation is actively reaching out to these depositors through phone calls and text messages to facilitate their verification and subsequent reimbursement. Additionally, the NDIC has initiated a debt recovery process and is working on realizing the investment and fiscal assets of Heritage Bank to generate the necessary funds for reimbursing customers and deposits above the 5 million naira insured limits. In a tragic development, at least 10 passengers, including 2 babies, lost their lives in a tragic auto accident in Abia State along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. The incident involved a Toyota Sienna bus belonging to a local transport company, which was reportedly speeding and lost control, leading to a collision with a truck before crashing into the bush. Eyewitnesses reported the bus was fully loaded and was en route to Umuahia when it collided with the moving truck. Sympathizers and Federal Road Safety Commission personnel were seen assisting in transporting the deceased to the morgue as press time. In a separate incident in Sokoto State, a boat carrying over 40 passengers capsized in the Dandaye River, located in Wamako local government area of Sokoto State. The boat was en route to farms when it sank in the middle of the river. An eyewitness, Malam Ayuba Dandaye, confirmed the majority of the passengers were women and children. Local divers and swimmers were able to rescue 15 people, but 25 people have been confirmed dead. Special advisor to the Sokoto State Governor on the State Emergency Management Agency, Alhaji Nasir, said the rescue operation team, as well as officials from the National Emergency Management Agency, were mobilized to the village for rescue operations. You're still watching ADBN News at 7. Watch us on DSTV, channel 258, on StarTimes, channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. More stories to come after this break. Stay with us.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape, from streets to traditional advertising and social media. We cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first praise.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Welcome back. And now to report on the foreign scene. Democratic Republic of Congo says it has initiated talks with Zambia to swiftly reopen their shared border, which was closed by Zambia. The closure has disrupted a crucial export route for the DRC, the world's second largest copper producer. The border was sealed by Zambian Trade Minister Mr. Chipoka Mulenga following protest by Congolese transporters in the town of Kulambesela, triggered by the DRC's ban on imported soft drinks and beer. The Congolese Ministry of Trade stated that discussions between the two governments began via video conference yesterday, aiming to quickly resolve the issue. Further talks are planned in Lumbashia to find lasting solutions to the trade disputes. The DRC Trade Minister emphasized that his ministry had not received any formal notice of a trade dispute from Zambia before the border closure. He highlighted that the two countries have a trade agreement with established mechanism for resolving disputes and expressed the ministry's willingness to address any concerns raised through appropriate diplomatic channels. Rwanda's president, Mr. Paul Kagame, has been sworn in for another 5-year term following his landslide victory in the July elections, which extended his nearly 25-year tenure in office. The 66-year-old former rebel leader secured 99.18% of the vote, despite the Electoral Commission barring 8 other candidates, including his most vocal critics. President Kagame, who is credited with ending the 1994 genocide and transforming Rwanda into a stable and economically attractive nation, took his oath at Kigali's National Stadium. Thousands attended the ceremony, many dressed in national colours of yellow, green and blue. The event featured a military 21-gun salute and was attended by 22 African heads of state. During the swearing-in, Kagame emphasized the importance of continued hard work, stating that for the last 30 years, the country has been good work in progress. Rwanda's constitution was amended in 2015, allowing Kagame to remain in power beyond the original term limits. Over to sports. Nasarawa State Governor Engineer Abdullahi Su has expressed his strong passion for football, emphasizing that sports unites people, regardless of political affiliations. Governor Su made this statement while hosting the chairman of the Nasarawa State Football Association, Alhaji Salisu Galadima, and his team at the Government House in Lafia, the state capital, during the official unveiling of the 2024 edition of the Governor's Cup. In his address, State FA Chairman Alhaji Salisu Usman lauded Governor Su's dedication to sports development, noting that the recent promotion of the Nasarawa United back to the National Professional Football League is a testament of the Governor's love and support for the sports in the state. Our correspondent Mary has more details.
All 13 local government areas in Nasarawa State will participate in this year's Governor's Cup, with each receiving 23 sets of jerseys, and 100 balls have already been secured for the event. In his response to the Nasarawa State Football Association chairman, Governor Abdullahi Sule commended the initiative, which aims to foster peaceful coexistence among the youths in the state.
Today indeed is one of those days that we are happy to once more come up with a program that will further unite our dear people of Nasarawa State. Sports is one thing that brings excitement into us, brings unity, and actually brings friendship. Today in Nasarawa State, we are going to come up with an event that will bring out some of the best talents that we have in soccer that may be hiding in various places. This is one thing that always excites me, because we are trying as much as possible to bring talents from within us that are going to be pride of our own state. By the time some of these players go and become who they are, even within Nigeria, then all of us will have participated one way or the other, in supporting them to be who they are and to make our state who we are.
Also, Alhaji Galadima said high-ranking NFF officials, led by its president Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau, are expected to attend the opening and closing ceremonies, saying the executive governor will soon announce the date for the finals.
This is because the president of the Nigerian Football Federation and his executive, national president, referee council, national president of coaching association, selected football legends in the country, and all state FA chairman will also be in attendance.
The event concluded with the unveiling of the jerseys for all teams and trophies for the winners, first and second runners-up, along with some individual prizes. Mary Ojiji, ADBN News.
Nigerian champions Edo Queens delivered a commanding 5-0 victory over ASGNN of Niger Republic in their Group B opener of the CAF Women's Champion League WAFU B qualifying tournament on Sunday in Ivory Coast. The breakthrough came in the 36th minute with a stunning team goal finished off by Ememesien, who drove the ball into the net, leaving as ASGNN defense in disarray. Just before half-time, Suliyat Ajibadin extended the lead with a penalty kick after being fouled in the box. In the second half, Edo Queens maintained their dominance with additional goals from Blessing, Esther Moses and Joy Jerry, sealing a resounding victory for the Nigerian side. On the other Group B match, Burkina Faso and Hassisas Ladies of Ghana played a goalless draw in a tightly contested game. President of the International Olympic Committee, Mr. Thomas Bach, has praised the Paris 2024 Olympics as a sensational event, during the closing ceremony on Sunday night. The games concluded with a grand finale at the Stade de France after more than 2 weeks of competition. In his address, Mr. Baj described the Paris 2024 Olympics as making a new era for Olympic Games, celebrating both the athletes and the pinnacle of sports. He also commended the athletes for their performances and for fostering a culture of peace throughout the event. The closing ceremony featured a tribute to the origins of the Olympics and concluded with the official handover to Los Angeles, the host city for the 2028 Games. The Tigers' coach, Rena Wakama, has been named best coach at the women's basketball event at the 2024 Paris Games. International Basketball Federation disclosed this in a statement on Sunday night. Under Wakama's leadership, the Nigerian women's team advanced to the quarter-finals for the first time in its history, making them the first African team, male or female, to reach this stage of the tournament. Wakama is also the first coach of the Nigerian national female basketball team to win the women's AfroBasket title since the tournament's inception in 1966. In 2023, she became the first female head coach of the Tigers, having previously served as the director of women's basketball operations at the Nigeria Basketball Federation. That's it on ADBN News at 7. Remember to watch us live on DSTV channel 258, on StarTimes channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. Not forgetting, you can watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to adbntv.com/live. I am Amma Marcus. Thank you for joining the news this morning. Do stay tuned for the continuation of Morning Express.
Thanks for staying with us through our first major news bulletin this morning. And interestingly, for sports enthusiasts, be reminded that 10 a.m. you can join our Abuja sports editor ahead of Friday's showdown as the EPL amongst other European leagues resume. We'll take a short break and then we'll return. Coming up next is the newspaper review segment. Stay with us.
It's Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince. Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Prince iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokame.
Hi, my name is Ucheuba.
It's Tobe Season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas, I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kubala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be.
And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Mwah.
Hey, Bobby.
Ha!
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
One hour of your daily dose of news from around the world.
Whether it's a diplomatic breakthrough, a humanitarian crisis, or a scientific discovery, Global Digest gives you a deeper understanding of the world around you. Join me, Amma Marcus. Let's stay ahead of the curve with conversations that are shaping our planet at 11 a.m. on DSTV, channel 258, and on StarTimes, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
In a nation rich with history and culture, Nigerians face challenges that test the resilience and spirit of our people. From devastating floods to raging fires, from terror of kidnappings to the violence of banditry, emergencies strike without warning.
Any person can be ambushed, but we have dominated the bushes.
But in the face of danger, heroes rise. Discover the dedication, bravery, and teamwork behind every rescue. Witness stories of survival, hope, and the unbreakable spirit of Nigerians.
I am Nkechi Issa, and I invite you to join me on a journey into the heart of Nigeria's emergency response efforts. Together, we can overcome any challenge. Join us as we explore the resilience and heroism that define Nigeria.
Emergency Response, every Sunday at 6 p.m. only on ADBN. Stay prepared, stay safe, stay strong.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people they talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Hello, I'm delighted to have you join us on the weather forecast for Monday. We start off the new week with prospect of morning rains to the coastal parts of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Ondo, and Oyo states. There are prospects of morning thunderstorms to parts of Plateau, Nasarawa, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, as well as the northeastern states, including parts of Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto, and Kebbi states. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, there are more chances of thunderstorms to most parts of the northern and the north-central region of the country, while to the southern region, intermittent rains are expected, particularly to the southeast, as well as Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers states. That's our bit from here. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, as we look to establish the focus of discussions on the show this morning, we will be taking a look at some major publications from across the country, taking a close look at the headlines today. And on our lineup, we have the Daily Times newspaper, the Matrix newspaper, the New Telegraph, as well as the Vanguard newspaper, amongst many other papers. Bito.
Yes, quite interesting lineup of newspapers we're looking at this morning, and one of the lead stories that has informed the way the papers will be greeting your screen is some comments made by the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, that has now been refuted by the 10th Assembly. Now, in keeping with that lineup, let's look at the Daily Times and the Matrix this morning.
Well, captured on the front page of the Daily Times, as well as the Matrix newspaper, would take a look at an allegation that has been debunked by the Senate, allegations of self-determined salaries. Now, on the front page of the Daily Times, you'd find the caption, allegations of self-determined salaries false. Attempt to crucify legislature, says Senate. Allegations of self-determined salaries false. Attempt to crucify legislature, according to the Senate. No senator receives monetary patronage from presidency, Adara Modu says. While reps reply Obasanjo say 10th Assembly driven by patriotism. Reps reply Obasanjo say 10th Assembly driven by patriotism. Now, inserted beneath the headline story, there is a picture capturing a cross-section of market men and women when the Abia State Governor Alex Oti initiated the remodeling and reconstruction of Abbas Ekioha Market, the city's oldest metropolitan market. Interestingly, the writer's story on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper reads, NLC demands immediate government action after invasion of headquarters. Says police must apologize for action. NLC demands immediate government action after invasion of headquarters. Says police must apologize for action. These and many more can be seen captured on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper.
Yeah, in keeping with as we get the papers coming in, it's important to reiterate that this headline stories are solely the reflections of the publications as made by the dailies and not the position of ADBN television as the news is reflected. Now, much like the Daily Times, the Matrix newspaper also looks at the refutal as issued by the 10th Assembly following comments of salary fixing as alleged by former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. The Matrix this morning, if we do have it, and as it greets your screen, you'd see it much similar like the Daily Times. It says, salary fixing claims. National Assembly bombs Obasanjo. Salary fixing claims, National Assembly bombs Obasanjo. We only receive salary allocated constitutionally by RMACF, says the Senate. Says it is season of political pontification when irrelevant scarmongering takes prominence. 10th Assembly maintains highest level of accountability, transparency, says reps. And above that story, more interesting stories you would find just before you approach the masthead. It says NDIC reveals why 17.64% of Heritage Bank depositors have not been paid. Says 82.3% of total insured depositors have been reimbursed. Maritime Insecurity, NIMASA, Chatham House to engage UN Security Council. And lastly, above the masthead, CPPE raises alarm over regulatory agencies overbearing policies, choking manufacturers, investors. Chijoke.
Yes, well, following the invasion of the NLC headquarters here in Abuja, the NLC has relayed its demands for an apology and also has asked the federal government for a full-fledged investigation into the occurrences at their headquarters. A scene captured on the front pages of the New Telegraph newspaper as well as the Vanguard newspaper. Let's pick up a copy of the New Telegraph together and see what it says there. Now, on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper, you'd find the headline story: Stop harassing people with opposing ideologies, NLC tells federal government. Stop harassing people with opposing ideologies, NLC tells FG. Rejects police explanation on raid. Demands apology. National Mourning Day for lives lost during protests. Rejects police explanation on raid. Demands apology. National Mourning Day for lives lost during the protest. Now, interestingly, above the headline story and beneath the masthead, you'd find some stories of interest. Parliamentary seats. Reps raise hope for women. Muslim women professionals call for more representation in politics and governance. While Adeboye links corruption in Nigeria with Christians compromising standards. Obi seeks probe of Nigeria's poor outing at Paris Olympics. Urges federal government to address issues that led to #End Bad Governance protests. And LG Autonomy, FG, trying to create corrupt bureaucracy, alleged the PDP. Says Edo Guba will be referendum on failed APC administration. As seen captured on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper. Now, the picture of prominence inserted on the front page of that paper is that of Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara with the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of First Bank Group, Olusegun Alebiosu, during a courtesy visit by the First Bank CEO to the Governor in Port Harcourt recently. Feature stories to the right of the inserted picture read: Monkeypox. Passengers from London will submit health declaration forms, NCDC says. While Women Affairs Advisor to Ondo Governor appoints 29 aides. Harsh regulations falling volatilities. Exodus of firms, OPS says. Ease of doing business. Nigerian economy can only grow from states, according to Mba, as German government investors target agri energy, other opportunities in Enugu State. Two rider stories beneath the inserted picture of the governor of Rivers State, as well as the MD CEO of First Bank Group reads: Japa, 20 UK universities face financial pressure over unstable naira. As some British varsities rely on Nigerian students to pick up admissions, enroll for courses, upsurge forces tuition fees to €11,000 at the minimum. While terrorists kill 4 soldiers, 7 others suffer gunshot wounds in Sokoto. LG chair survives ambush. Arsonists set redeemed church ablaze in Niger. Governor can condemn attack harp on freedom of worship. All of these and more are seen on the New Telegraph.
Now, in similarity to the New Telegraph, the Vanguard also tailors the lead story around the Labour House invasion in the FCT. Following a demand for an apology, Labour is also suing for the federal government's intervention. The lead story, however, reads, "End blame game, halt bad policies. Labour, Obi, Lukman tell Tinubu." End blame game, halt bad policies. Labour, Obi, Lukman tell Tinubu. Straplines read, Labour alleges harassment, intimidation of members by government. Says invasion of Labour House, deliberate attempts at provocation. Condemns plans to frame up innocent citizens on truck-top changes. Protests call for leadership action against growing poverty, says Obi. Hunger protest, enough grounds to impeach, Tinubu, says Lukman. The picture of prominence is captured. Show of shame. 9 billion naira wasted. 88 athletes, no medals. As criticism trails Nigeria's poorest Olympic outing, as captured by the Vanguard. Now, and similarly, you'd find this as the news story leading the first newspaper.
Well, captured on the front page of the first newspaper, you'd find the headline story. Reckless, rascally leadership led to Nigeria's Olympic failure, says Peter Obi. Reckless, rascally leadership led to Nigeria's Olympic failure, alleges Peter Obi. Now, above that headline story, you'd find some stories of interest just beside the masthead that reads, Wakama named Best Female Basketball Coach at Paris 2024 Olympics. And beneath that, you'd find the stories, Sarah to Tinubu, probe $1.5 billion World Bank loan, $3 billion Chinese debt. Adeboye condemns flamboyant weddings, blasts makeup users. While Soludo's daughter weds, marking family's first marriage in 142 years. Soludo's daughter weds, marking family's first marriage in 142 years. Robotic revolution. AI performs first unassisted dental surgery. While bandits ambush Nigerian army in Sokoto, kill 4 soldiers. Prominently inserted on the front page of the first newspaper is a picture of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he received the outgoing head of civil service, Mrs. Folashade Yemi-Osun, and warmly welcomed her successor, Mrs. Esther Wilson-Jack, at the presidential villa in Abuja. 2 rider stories inserted beneath the prominent picture there is NDIC disburses 5 million naira each to 82.36% of defunct Heritage Bank depositors. And NYSC, no directive to implement 70,000 naira minimum wage for core members yet. All of this can be seen on the front page of the first newspaper.
Now, thanks, Chijoke. In keeping with more newspapers, as we look to give you a quick overview of what the front pages say this morning, our next stop is the Daily News Hub. On its front page is a case of an uncovery of anti-graft following the involvement of civil servants aiding politicians, as reported by the anti-graft agency. Now, in keeping with the news publication on the front page of the Daily News Hub, you'd find that lead story, how civil servants aided politicians to steal 18 billion naira in Kano, says anti-graft agency. Says civil servants caught in the middle of corruption practices in all cases investigated by commission. 90% of corrupt practices perpetrated through procurement process by politicians in connivance with civil servants. When politicians want to steal, they use procurement as cover-up, says anti-graft agencies. Beneath that, you have the story, Senate denies determining own allowances, salaries, whilst the rider has the red strapline, 189,256 driver licenses awaiting collection nationwide, says the FRSC.
Well, captured on the front page of the Daily Independent newspaper is an appeal by major stakeholders in the aviation industry for the federal government to come to the aid of private airlines, as it reads. 22 commercial airlines closed shop in Nigeria in 24 years. Straplines read, stakeholders say present realities may not support existing 12. Blame FG policies on high mortality rate of domestic airlines. List how government can help sustain commercial airline operations. These are the strap lines attached to the headline story on the Daily Independent. Now, above the masthead are stories that were earlier captured on some national dailies, and they read, Invasion of headquarters. NLC accuses FG of intimidation, attempt to gag workers. Asks Tinubu to convene conclave to address national grievances. Serap asks Tinubu to probe spending of $1.5 billion World Bank loan by 36 states and the FCT. Now you'd find inserted just to the left of the picture of the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the feature stories that read, Senate replies Obasanjo, says National Assembly does not fix lawmakers' salaries. LG autonomy. FG creating another bureaucracy that will be prone to corruption. PDP alleges. Asks Edo APC Guber candidates to present self for public debate. 2027. Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso urged to form new party to rescue Nigeria. Hashtag end bad governance. Obi mourns demonstrators, security officers killed during protests. Now you'd find inserted there is a picture of the project manager and chief executive officer, Shared Agents Network Expansion Facilities Limited, alongside the the governor of Lagos State, I beg your pardon, during the governor's visit to the reformed and upgraded Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and Creative Arts, formerly known as National Arts Theatre in Igamu, Lagos, on Sunday. Writer's story on the front page of the Daily Independent newspaper reads, Recapitalization, 4 banks in dilemma over losing brand identity. NDIC pays 82.3% insured depositors of liquidated Heritage Bank. All of this is seen captured on the Daily Independent.
Well, in keeping with more papers greeting our discuss this morning, The Guardian comes up next, and on the front page of The Guardian, it tailors its lead story to the situation as it concerns electricity subsidies and a growing debt of 3.3 trillion naira in the electricity sector. Now, let's pick up The Guardian together as we look at that front page story. You'd find electricity tariff may spike over weak fiscal position, 2.1 trillion naira subsidy. Electricity tariff may spike over weak fiscal position, 2.1 trillion naira subsidy. As you'd find the infographic stating more details as the concerns grow. It reads, concerns as NEC removes FG from commercial model, enforces bilateral market. Liquidity worsens 4 years after CBN set up escrow account. Power plants may shut down as poor remittances threaten 6,000 megawatts target. Now, the over 3.3 trillion naira outstanding debts before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, as the power sector is indebted to banks to the tune of $1.9 billion, with subsidies accruing only in 2024 to 2.1 trillion naira, whilst unmetered customers grow to 7.3 million. Now, beneath that, some other stories of prominence, should you choose to visit the front page of The Guardian, would also include calls by the National Assembly to push back, pay storm on Obi, overs over flake cost of governance.
Now there is a heightened clamor for a new constitution in the country as a report has resurfaced, and this is seen captured on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. As seen on the front page of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper, you the headline story, New Constitution. It's a demand for 2014 Confab report for a renewed constitution following a 2014 Confab report that has resurfaced as Afenifere, Pandef and others dissect the Patriots proposal. But let's pick up a copy of the Nigeria Tribune together and see what the headline story there says. On the front page of the Nigeria Tribune, it reads, New Constitution. Demand for 2014 Confab report resurfaces as Afenifere, Pandef, others dissect the Patriots proposal. Pandef laments flaws in 1999 Constitution. Proposal in line with our demands, Afenifere, Oyo. The Patriots' call is apt, necessary, according to Asomben. Tinubu should dust up report, Bode George and lawyers say. We shouldn't waste taxpayers' money on new constitution. Okorie and Yagbagi share a different idea. While above the masthead, you'd find captured on the front page of the Nigeria Tribune the story that reads, Key players kick as enviable state-owned airports litter Nigeria. Reps mule legislation on devolution of powers to states to move domestic commercial water irrigation power to concurrent lists. Now, captured beneath the strap lines attached to the headline story, you'd find the feature stories. Seaports charges scaring importers from $1.5 billion Lagos-Ibadan cargo rail, according to NRC. Ensure full implementation of import duty waivers on drugs, NMA tells Tinubu. Poor allocation of resources further killing nation's education sector, ASU says. Now, prominently, you'd find a picture of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, alongside Professor Anyahu, leader of the Patriots, as well as former President Goodluck Jonathan, the originator of the 2014 Confab. Writer stories on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune read, Remuneration. Lawmakers knock Obasanjo, say allegation falls. Stop lecturing Nigerians on corruption, Olugbon tells ex-president. CBN's non-redemption of $2.4 billion forex forward contracts grants threat to manufacturing, says man.
Well, thank you, Chijoke. I would bring you more papers as they do make their entry this morning. But be reminded they're also invited to join the conversation on our webpage on www.adbntv.com. As you look to express your thoughts, comments, and opinion, please be civil about it. We'll be right back as we'll have our in-house analysts also join us on the program this morning as we look to critically dissect and analyze this news reports. Please stay with us.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura, I'm an actor. My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba. It's Tobe season.
I'm Miss Stems.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Essie Odometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sadiq Kubala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching. Don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
Ah!
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Hello, I'm delighted to have you join us on the weather forecast for Monday. We start off the new week with prospect of morning rains to the coastal parts of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Ondo, and Oyo states. There are prospects of morning thunderstorms to parts of Plateau, Nasarawa, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, as well as the northeastern states, including parts of Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto, and Kebbi states. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, there are more chances of thunderstorms to most parts of the northern and the north-central region of the country, while to the southern region, intermittent rains are expected, particularly to the southeast, as well as Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers states. That's our bit from here. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back. In keeping with our focus this morning as we look to review headline stories, we're now joined by a gentleman of the Fourth Estate of the REM and also public affairs analyst from the People's Reporter. We have Honorable Desmond Olariwaju Fowobi. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Beatles. Good morning, Shijioke. Good morning, Nigerians.
Well, let's quickly set the ball rolling. The former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Olusegun Obasanjo, has recently made some really strong claims and allegations towards the National Assembly, saying that they are making self-determined salaries and determining how much they are going to pay themselves. Now the Senate has also in return come out to refute these claims. It has debunked it and called it a total false claim. I want to get your reaction to this.
I saw the drama over the weekend by the former president Olusegun Obasanjo when he made the claim, the allegation that the National Assembly cannot be the judge in their own, case by accruing to say whatever they like as salaries. And then Adara Modu also came up, the spokesman to the National Assembly, the Senate precisely. He came out to refute that claim that no, it is the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Mobilization Commission that usually does salary scaling and all that to every government organization. Why that is a fact? I think it is just misinformation. The former president wasn't wrong, because the National Assembly as an institution is saddled with the responsibility of looking at the allocations, looking at appropriations, looking at what goes to this organization, what goes to that, and the override. Now, this is, I think, the area or the aspect that the former president is talking about has to do with respect to the allocation that goes to their constituency projects, constituency allowance, and all that. Yes. Because they come up with the template, just like every other organization comes up with a template of what they are expected to do with the money in the next running year. Yes. So now National Assembly to come up with their own budget for constituency projects and all that, So that is the area maybe President Olusegun Obasanjo is trying to talk about, but he didn't really dissect this point for people to understand. And that was why it generated some conflict. It's
misconstrued as him claiming that they determine their salaries.
It is not it is not the National Assembly that determines their own salary, but they determined their constituency allowance and all that. But still, there are some organizations that ratified it. I think there is a mechanism that check that, and that is why before budgets goes directly into them. Yes. But right now they have changed that policy, that there are certain commission like Basin, like Osun, Ogun, Basin, and all that. So there are certain commissions now that the money goes. No, the money now goes to the only thing is that you can bring contractors. So the National Assembly members, before now, they used to give them the money, and some of them will use the money to throw parties and divert the money to their own personal projects and their own personal business.
So what's the place of checks and balances in all of this? What organizations are saddled with the responsibility of checkmating and ensuring that even after these monies are disbursed, that they are used?
I don't think there is any.
That they are used for the proper projects that they have been allocated for, and not for parties as you are.
Like if you're following what I'm trying to explain, that before now there have been a serious mess and issue around this money that is allocated to this National Assembly member for constituency project. There have been serious issue before now, and that was why most recently, that has been changed. The money do not go to the senators. The money do not go to the members of House of Representatives. Now, before now, the money goes to them directly. But right now, there has been a twist and a change to that. So the money goes to certain commissions. Yes. You understand, that oversees, that executes those projects. The only thing the National Assembly member does or can do now is to see that this is my priority project. This is what I want. They bring a contractor, they liaise with this commission that this is what I want to do. This is the priority project to the people in my constituency, and they now fund it. It is not the National Assembly member that funds this project the way it used to be before, because of the abuse, because there are no proper check and balance. Nobody checks the National Assembly, because the National Assembly is meant to check the executives and the judiciary.
Now, as we look at both of the upper legislative chambers in their respective replies, one from Senator Adara Modu to the former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, another from the House of Representatives, has come at a crucial time when there's still some skepticism about the goodwill they showed in taking half salaries, which is yet to be implemented. They are replying that they remain patriotic, and there is a perceived attempt to crucify the upper legislative chambers and put them in the back book of Nigerians. Do you agree?
That has always been the practice of politicians. Obasanjo is a politician, and he's not a saint either. And then, but one thing we'll appreciate is that even as an elder statesman, he still talks about the country and some of these things that he's doing. Which, there is this saying that there is no smoke without fire. There is no smoke without fire. There may be some atom of some irregularities around this money allocation, and because they use the National Assembly power to influence certain decisions, it's possible that they may have influenced their salary, because they will threaten this organization that they may not get, or they won't get what they are supposed to get.
Do you think that this influence has somehow slowed down the proposed 50% salary cut as well?
No, it is not. It is the National Assembly that is willing. You understand?
So Nigerians are worried about what is delaying that decision to implement it.
It is not the National Assembly that will implement. It is the fiscal allocation.
Because you suppose that there are some influences that also affect the RFC.
It is not. No, this is just. If there is any delay, they can't be playing on the intelligence of the Nigerian people. They said, due to the biting economy, the current economic challenge in Nigeria, that they are volunteering, you understand, to cut their salary by 50%. Nobody asks them to do that. So I don't expect any game from the National Assembly. There are organizations, there are institutions that is saddled with the responsibility, like the Office of the Accountant General to the Federation and all these Ministry of Finance and all that. They are supposed to be the one that will implement. It is not the National Assembly who will implement. The National Assembly, unless they have not issued an official letter to the Accountant General of the Federation office. If that is the issue, then this politics is coming from the National Assembly. But if that letter has been written officially that they agreed to cut down their salary by that 50%, then there is nothing, you understand, that should be delaying that.
Well, whilst we look to quickly sweep through some of the prominent issues in the news, more reactions greet this. Clarification is issued by the official spokesperson of the 10th Senate, Senator Adara Modu, who hopefully, if he has time, would also be in our studios to further discuss this. Now, also greeting the front pages, and another pertinent issue of concern was the invasion of the Labour House in Abuja. Now, this morning, there are calls from the NLC demanding an apology from what Nigerians now perceive to have been an invasion by the police other than the DSS. Now, amidst these calls, they're also urging the federal government to intervene in some ways, from refraining to unduly influence people who have opposing ideologies to the government of the day. Make meaning of this.
That is what it will appear it appears because over time we have had issues of DSS, going into some organization like offices of based on information anyways. But right now, because of the ongoing End Bad Governance protest, the Labour had threatened the last time that they are trying to sign certain things to join the protesters and all that, to join the protest, to seek for redress, of change of policies that is affecting the Nigerian people. So I think because of the position that the Labour is showing, the office of the IG and the Inspector General of Police, they said that they got some information that there are certain things. So I don't know what transpired, why they did what they did, but I don't know. At this point, it's not time that we should be having this kind of fracas. I think we have gone past this stage. We used to have this kind of issue before now, that DSS, Nigerian police, we just bust into some organizations and destabilize, take their systems, take their computers, and some documents away. But we've outgrown that. For some years now, I've not seen such occurrences of such situation. But now that is reoccurring, maybe we need to see what we can do.
Well, when the attack on the NLC headquarters in Abuja here happened, the first security agency to publicly deny having anything to do with the attack was the DSS. And we all know the history of the DSS and NLC, the tussles that have been ongoing between them. There's this underlying rift that has always been there. So ordinarily, NLC should have, suspected the DSS of being the agency behind the attack. But also in today's publications, we saw that the NLC has rejected police explanation on the raid and are still asking the federal government or demanding for an apology from the federal government. If you take a close look at how the attack happened, a particular floor in the building was raided. Books were carted, and I believe they were not just books, but sensitive documents. Could these have been somewhat connected to maybe, just maybe, the tussle that happened between the NLC and the FG that led to the new minimum wage? That is one. Secondly, could it also be connected to the hashtag End Bad Governance protest, which the NLC president has washed his hands off, and the entire NLC has not joined at all?
Yes, there was a meeting. There was an executive meeting of the NLC sometimes last week. And there was a communique that was drafted that they will likely join the End Bad Governance protesters to protest for some policies that is eating hard on the economy, especially to the downtrodden, that they want to join. So I want to believe that it has nothing to do with the minimum wage, because this minimum wage, most of the decisions were not even taken at the NLC office. They were a tripartite committee, and they have designated places, meeting points, which is outside the NLC office. I've seen this happen in the Ministry of Labour, and I've seen it happen in the presidency and some designated environment in Abuja, but not at the NLC office. The most recent meetings that happened at the NLC headquarters was an executive meeting, called, I don't know why the NLC chairman is denying to that, but there was a meeting and a communique was drafted. I don't know. Me personally, I want to believe that what the police went to raid has nothing to do with the communique. Maybe there are more informations. Maybe there are certain things they get the filler, they get that information. Maybe with time, the Nigerian police will do well to explain to Nigeria their intention.
But isn't there a better way that the raid could have happened as opposed to them going
no,
there?
There is no better way.
In the wake of
there is no better way. There is no better way based on the information you get.
And vandalizing the Labour House.
No, there is no better way.
What?
There is no better way. When you have allegation and you're suspecting that this thing can lead to maybe chaos in the society, this can lead to some issues. If they were genuine with their reason why they went there in the first place to raid, you can't completely, blame the Nigerian police. It might be for the safety of the general public. So we don't need to take a position right now until when, because I expect that there should be a committee. The president should intervene to see if the president do not have hand in this. If the presidency do not have hand in this, then there should be a committee, because the Labour is not an organization that should be treated just like any other organization in this country. Yes. They are a respected body that contribute to the growth and development of the workforce and the development of this country. Yes. So I don't expect a rift between the Nigerian police and the Labour at this material time, because this is a time that we need to join hands to see that we save this country from this hardship, this economic challenge that we are having.
Now, gentlemen, because of time and following a rejig in our lineup of our programming, we're constrained to just 10 more minutes on local issues. And in those 10 minutes, amidst the myriad newspapers we took, we look at just 2 more issues and then we wrap up. First of which has been a focus on 9 billion naira expended on 88 Nigerian athletes following our last outing, which is considered the poorest by all margins at the Paris 2024 Olympics. Now, Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi has been the loudest in what he says it's a failure of leadership. Many are saying, how comes the Nigerian athletes were not inspired despite an additional 100 million as dished out by the House of Reps to somewhat spur patriotism in our representation of Nigeria?
You see, let me tell you, this country, we are rather more reactionary than being proactive. I don't even expect the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi to be speaking now. You see, we seem to understand that when you do not have a good foundation, you can't have a befitting building on it. There are so many woes that is going on in our NFF, and Peter Obi is not even saying anything. There are a lot of issues. This country, Nigeria, a lot of wrong people giving opportunity. See, there are great Nigerians that would have represented Nigeria at the Olympic and would have come back to this country with medals, gold medals and silver. But because of favoritism, nepotism, and politics that have eaten deep into the society, into our organization sense, that becloud our sense of judgment, giving opportunity to the wrong people and leaving the right people. Nigeria is a country of about 240 million people, and there are quality people, there are good people, there are people who are hungry. There are athletes in this country that are hungry, you understand, to represent this country, and they are very certain. And then apart from that, now it's just to look at sometimes how we implement certain things in this country. Yes. You get the money and it's not properly expended in training these athletes. The monies are not properly used in providing all the necessary motivation to these athletes. If you go to our Olympics, if you go to our stadium, if you see where some of these guys are training, you pity for this country. You find out that most times they have to struggle for themselves. They use their personal money to train themselves and all that. A lot of corruption. So I expect that Peter Obi and other people who are now talking about, when you don't lay your bed where it's how you lay your bed that you lie on it. You don't expect them to do magic.
Well, I also, in as much as you have claimed that at a time like this, somebody like the Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi is not supposed to be speaking. I would also, like to add that. No,
you didn't get it. I'm not saying, I didn't say it shouldn't be speaking. I said it should not be speaking now. It should not always come out at the end of any woes. It should be proactive.
Proactive. He should have.
It should not be speaking. It's too political. That's what I'm saying. It's too political. You don't criticize outcomes. You criticize the process. There are a lot of things that is going on right now in this country that is not speaking wrongly. There are a lot of wrongdoings that is going on right now that is not speaking. He's waiting when there is a failure. You not take advantage for a political gain. By so doing, we will not get results.
Now we are not talking about Peter Obi. Would you attribute the rather disappointing outing of Nigerian athletes at the Paris Olympics? You know, they crashed out of the Olympics without a single medal after billions of naira had been expended, you know, to send them there. Would you attribute this to the athletes themselves, who I think they did fantastically well, or to the officials who were supposed to have
make certain preparations?
Of course, that's what I told you earlier.
That had to borrow a bike.
I told you before that if you like budget $10 trillion for these athletes, at the end of the day, this money are not properly used in the trainings of these athletes. It has always been the culture in this part, and nobody is saying anything, and that is why it's more annoying. In this part of the world, people are not punished for their wrongdoings until we begin to punish people for certain errors. In when you are employed for a certain job and you're not doing it well and nobody is punishing you, you find out that you will be motivated to continue doing the wrongdoings. And that is what we see in almost every aspect of our society. Even it happens everywhere. Look at our NFF. Look at their two last outing. They failed. You know, even the coach Finidi George was hosted out, you know, and disgracefully out of that job. You know, people don't get punished for their woes, and that is why you see that people find it very attractive to continue to do what they feel like they can do. Imagine, millions has been allocated, billions have been spent, and yes, we are not getting proper result from the Olympic.
The only thing Nigerians have gotten so far is an apology by the Minister of Sports.
We are not asking. We are asking for probity. We are asking for accountability. There should be a committee that will be set up to investigate what went wrong. At what point did we get it wrong that our athletes will go to the Olympic and come back to this country without medal?
Now, lastly, as we look to draw this conversation to a close or into a slight rejig in our lineup, out of the pressing issues in the aviation sector, where 22 air operators have had to close shop in the last 24 years, there also calls for a new constitution following the 2014 Confab report, which has resurfaced. We just saw President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the course of the weekend also established the Northwest Commission.
Yes.
Also to support development in the Northwest region. These are some of those conversations about how far the country needs to rejig in and the political will to do so under this administration. Let's just get your thoughts in a minute or two as we wrap.
You know, Atiku Abubakar was very popular in 2019 with this restructuring concept, and that was why it gained some level of popularity then, because Nigeria is ripe for restructuring, and APC did promise restructuring, even as at the time President Muhammadu Buhari was to recontest. They set up a committee then that El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, headed, that they went from state to state and take concerns of the Nigerian people. And in that report, it was clear and it was loud that the Nigerian people want restructuring. And that is one of the things that is affecting us. Like the Nigerian, the state police was one of the issues that was talked about. This autonomy, local government autonomy was another issue that was raised, and decentralization of power, you know, from the country. And I think one way or the other, the countries, there have been some adjustments because the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been doing a lot in terms of looking at that report, and in one way or the other, he has started implementing this restructuring. But what the people wanted is this centralization of resource control, you understand, and the president is here to do anything about that, and that is the major issue, you understand. That is the major issue, and that is what we are expecting that the president should also look towards.
Well, we must thank you very much, Honorable Desmond, for finding the time to come on the program and share your thoughts on some of these national issues.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll be taking a short break, and in keeping with the observance of commemorative holidays today, we'll be back to talk more about the prospects of Nigerian youths in the observance of the National Youth Day. Stay with us.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura. I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Ucheoba.
It's today's season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kubala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN, keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
Ha!
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
Hello, I'm delighted to have you join us on the weather forecast for Monday. We start off the new week with prospect of morning rains to the coastal parts of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Ondo and Oyo State. The prospect of morning thunderstorms to parts of Plateau, Nasarawa, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, as well as the northeastern states, including parts of Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto and Kebbi states. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, there are more chances of thunderstorms to most parts of the northern and the north-central region of the country, while to the southern region, intermittent rains are expected, particularly to the southeast, as well as Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers states. That's our bit from here. Thank you for watching.
Well, it's an important day, the 12th day of August 2024, and annually it commemorates the International Youth Day. The choice of theme for 2024 has been premised on From Cliques to Progress, Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development. Now, joining us on the show to further expand thoughts is Barrister Titilokbe Anifowoshe Salami. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Barrister Titilokbe. It's nice to have you here in the studio.
It's good to be here. Happy International Youth Day.
Happy International Youth Day. Very quickly now, let's set the ball rolling. You are an advocate of politics with values and SDGs.
Very well.
And this is mostly surrounding, works around youth and youth development. Very quickly now, let me get your take firstly on what the International Youth Day means for many youths around the world, and you'll also give us an insight into the workings that you do.
Okay, so every day is supposed to be meant to celebrate young people, youth. However, this August is special for us because it's a recognition of the strive and innovative excellence of young people across the world. So it's not just about us raising the flag on this special day. It's a recognition of all that we've been doing. It's also an opportunity for us to evaluate how far we've come with the advocacy for our promotion and for the push for prosperity for the world.
Well, in moving on now, the theme for this year is focused on youth digital ways to enhancing youth development and all of that. How does this relate to the Nigerian youth, especially now that we are seeing a huge heightened influx of youth in the technology and tech industry, where they are known as tech bros and taxis and all of that? How does this relate?
Okay, so here's the thing. At the moment, young people are the powerhouse of the world. We are the engine room of every developed society. So fact is, in the past, we sort of underestimated the power of the digital world. Just the keyboard, we underestimated it. But look at it, today, 2024, everything revolving around Nigeria's democracy, everything revolving around Nigeria's development, be it industry, be it business, be it agriculture and what have you, has been enhanced and promoted with the keyboard. Think about it from this angle. A few years ago, if you want to make a transaction of a certain amount of money, you have to walk into the bank to do it. But today, all you need is your keyboard. All you need is just a code to impute whatever it is, and then boom, it's gone. In the past, if you haven't, woken up at 6, 7 a.m. to drive to the office, no one sees you as responsible. But somehow you could be.
We have remote jobs.
Yes, we have remote jobs
from home.
Exactly. So we are moving things. We are enhancing prosperity for every nation, every community, with a click.
All right. Well, I would have to hold you right there, Barrister Titilokbe. We are being joined from Uyo, yet another guest on the show.
Well, owing to the prominence of youth inclusivity and an expansive discussion as to how technology would help us achieve sustainable goals, we're joined from our Uyo studios this morning by Orok, who is also an ardent youth advocate. Hello, Orok. Good morning to you. Can you hear me? Advocate. Hello. Can you hear me? Advocate. Hello. All right then, very well. Nice to have you join us on the show this morning. We're looking at the theme for this year's celebration first. The theme for this year's celebration. How apt is the choice of the 2024 theme to commemorate the International Youth Day?
Question again. I didn't quite get your question.
Hello, Rock. Can you hear us, or do you need I repeat the question? All right. Let me repeat the question for the benefit of doubt. I said, in your opinion, how apt is the choice of the 2024 theme to commemorate the International Youth Day? All right, whilst we look to get a better connection from our Uyo studios this morning so we can get Orok's thoughts, you mentioned something pertaining to the inclusivity of technology and the provision for remote jobs where youth are encouraged to work from home. Many people feel as though this has affected the Gen Z's approach to the ethics of work culture, more on the reliability of knowing that at this particular time, this person can be said to be accounted for in keeping with their career paths or chosen fields of endeavor. Do you think that this is somewhat dissuade the balance in terms of shaping people the youths perceive to be more accountable or responsive to chosen fields of work?
I think it's even easier. Accountability is easier with digitalization because you have an assignment, you have a set target, it's input or output, garbage in, garbage out, unlike you just going to the office and then sitting all day. Even though you do not do anything, your presence counts for something. So yes, with regards to our body language or our culture when it comes to work, I think the world is evolving so much, and so you do not need to be physically present in a place for you to show effectiveness. So I personally believe that digitalization even makes accountability easier.
Now the stigma part is what you're here to speak on. We've seen law enforcement also stigmatize against persons who are tech savvy or into certain gadgets they have somewhat attached to people who are particularly involved in internet fraud. How do we better shape this narrative in society?
Well, whilst I recognize the fact that Section 4 of the Police Act empowers Nigerian police officers or security agencies to, if they have reasonable suspicion of a person, I recognize and reckon with that. But I also think that, yes, there are excesses. And now we have to dwell a little into the welfare of our officers. Think about it. I haven't had breakfast all day. I'm not justifying it, but I haven't had breakfast all day. And then I see somebody looking fresher than me driving past me. Even if I am this or that, there is a possibility that one might be a little aggressive. But of course, I think that we need to work more on enhancing or pushing out the advocacy that, hey, the fact that I look a certain way does not mean that I'm into illegality. I mean, anyone who has traveled outside Nigeria would know that it's not about how you look. Someone with a tattoo might actually be the CEO of a huge company. It doesn't necessarily be about, but that also goes back to our culture. You know, we are Africans, and then somehow, some way, we still impute this certain expectation, yes, and all that. But I think we're getting there. I think we need to, as young people, also advocate for a sort of synergy between us and the law enforcement agencies, just like we had with NSAS. I think we're getting there.
Now, one more question before my colleague would ask you a number of questions on his mind this morning. It's in shaping these narratives. Whilst these issues of profiling on the part of law enforcement might be largely an issue that the male folks deal with, on the part of the women folks, who in the demographics also account for a huge number of our female youths in the country, there are roles that they should play in keeping with sustainable goals. Culture has also impeded in some way. What would you say, in your opinion, is one way to enhance the role of women in keeping with sustainable development goals?
I think first thing first, we need to be innovative. Today, you would see hundreds and thousands of young females with a tag CEO of a small online shop and what have you. It's beautiful, e-commerce, beautiful. However, I think that whilst this particular status quo, we have arrived at it by virtue of necessity. Young females have realized that if they rely solely on probably their certification, they may go hungry. However, I think what we need to do as a people, as a community, as a government, is now to see how we can expand the scope of their engagement to be more innovative. Yes, we have the technology. Yes, you can order online and get things done. However, how about we look at it from the angle of bringing innovation? For example, Flutterwave is the stripe of Nigeria. Does that mean that it is the biggest innovation of the 21st century for young people?
Certainly not.
Maybe not. However, we've been carrying that brand in that line. I'm not saying it's not beautiful, but I think that one of the things we need to do for young females, for young people, is now to see and identify the the uniqueness of us as a people, as Nigerians, the diversity, our different unique needs across our different topography or geography, to now be able to bring forth things that would enhance our development as a people. For example, also food. A lot of young females go to culinary schools to learn this or to learn that, but we still eat the same sort of food: fried rice, jollof rice, coconut rice, Chinese rice, what have you. However, in Europe, even from that rice, one could be able to get
to make a number of dishes.
A number of dishes. Yeah. So, are we innovative? Maybe not. Are we pushing ourselves to be able to discover much more things? Maybe not. I know we can do better, but we need to kickstart that conversation. Just like in the past, people weren't really looking towards technology, AI, the way they're looking at it now.
Yes. Well, I was actually going to come to that. You have made calls for innovation. You have made calls for creativity, for people to be dynamic in the way they think in order to be different. You can pick up one dish and make, you know, numerous dishes from it. And coming to the issue of AI, we have in recent years seen how AI has advanced, you know, in major parts of the world, even here in Nigeria. And this has been met by different reactions. Some people have, you know, praised the advent of AI and have said that it has made life easier for them, while others, especially creatives, you know, have fought really hard to say that AI is taking their jobs away. Are we seeing a situation where eventually, you know, without innovation, people will start losing their jobs drastically to the advent of AI?
No, I do not think so. AI enhances, promotes, and even makes our job easier. Yes, some creatives think that AI is probably taking their roles. However, if you see an artwork, one that is done with the brush,
yes,
is very different from one that is modified by AI. I think that just like it's been done across the world,
yes,
indeed, there are places where AI will take the role of humans. However, what we need to start doing is to now start looking at promotive ways of living that primitive thinking to now enhancing the work. For example, ChatGPT. If you input, say, what is a pen on ChatGPT, ChatGPT would certainly give you a response that is not organic. However, it is for you to now control, refine the way the response will come that will now be acceptable or fit into whatever function you want it to. So AI cannot even work excellently without the input of humans.
Now, this is a good background in terms of welcoming technology, and with technology also comes fintechs. Now, let's see if we can reconnect with our Uyo studios as we look to connect with Honorable Lieutenant Orok Godpower, who is also an advocate for blockchain technology and the wonders it can do in the fintech space. Hello, Orok, if you can hear us better this morning, let's get your take on how we can better involve blockchain technology for the youth demographics in Nigeria in keeping with sustainable goals.
Hello, from Uyo. My name is Orok Godpower. Okay, answering your question, I believe first of all we are in a situation where progress is being seen visibly. That's the first thing we have to look at, because presently I deal with a lot of youths. I try to involve myself in the lives of plenty youth, especially in Nigeria, and we can see, or I can see practically, that the youths in this particular demographic are really accepting the technology of the blockchain and the wonders it brings. We can see a beautiful technology where adultericity is being cancelled. We can see a technology where speed is being recognized, and people trying to embrace this technology actually comes with its own issues. That's the truth, and that's normal. We don't expect everything to flow well, but we can see from this part of the world, presently Nigeria youths are one of the biggest markets in the world when it comes to fintech, especially in the blockchain sector. We can see the Nigerian market and the Nigerian youth are one of the biggest when it comes to adoption. We have few works to do, trust me. The work we have on ground is few. Most people say it's much, but I believe it's few, because when we have a lot of people going out there making sure people understand this technology, more education, more adoption, we can see greater progress. The youth in this particular demograph, the youth in Nigeria to be precise, have woken up. We have understood that we have the bull in our hands, and we are going to utilize that effectively. See, the blockchain is actually a very wonderful infrastructure. It's a wonderful technology. It's actually the expectation of every single man, because what are we looking for exactly in the world of finance? We are looking for a system where adultery can never occur. We are looking for a system that is fast. We have gone from a pace where we have to actually take our yams to the market and look for buyers because we need fish. So we have to look for people that need fish. We have grown past that stage. We have grown past the stage where we walk into the bank. Just because we want to make a transaction, we have to be on a queue. We have walked past that stage where many people want to receive money or aid from their uncles or their nephews or whoever that is outside the country, and you have to wait for days for that to be processed. See, the blockchain is one infrastructure that have been built in a way that, first of all, it counsels scam. That's the truth, whether we like it or not. It counsels scam. It brings speed. And this is exactly what we need in this particular generation. We are not saying what our fathers did were wrong. We are just saying that we are growing. We are just saying that we have moved. We are just saying that we have migrated from the slow stone age. How many people can believe right now that I can use my device, let's even say our normal traditional finance, our TriFi, I can use my device and make a transaction of millions at the spot? If you look 10 years, 15 years back, if I'm to do that to a regular market woman on the road, she's not going to accept that. She needs what she can see. She needs what she can feel. She needs what she can count. You cannot pick up an akara on the road and expect the woman to receive 1K transfer. No, she's not going to accept that from you. But right now we can see ourselves where we don't even need to do something that people can see and accept value for. We practically can give you mental money. We practically can give you value, and it's on a technology that have been accepted, that have been seen, have been proven to cancel adultery. That it's not in the regular part. It's actually adultery in finance, because we see a lot of scam going on there. We see bounce check. If you look at our TriFi, the traditional finance, we see people doing fake transfers. But we can't see those particular acts done on the blockchain. Why? This is an infrastructure that was built with multiple consensus. Many people at different locations, and it's decentralized. The problem we have right now in finance is centralization of power. Not just in finance, but other regular sectors, is centralization of power. We see power given to one, and that is bound for manipulation
as well.
But we have seen a technology where every single bit.
Now, whilst the youths are quick to catch on to this technology, the government of the day has had issues with such technology, particularly with the arrest of certain fintech operators in the country in recent history, occasioned by some perceived financing of terrorism using these untraceable transactions done using blockchain. How do we get the policy makers on board with accepting blockchain as a form of financial transactions in the Nigerian banking sector?
In every 12, there have to be a Judas. That's the truth. That's the truth. There is no technology that cannot be used for good, and there is no same technology that cannot be used for evil. So you're not going to say because few people, before what they are proposing right now, what they are telling us is being used to fund terrorism, we can actually still see our normal fiat, our paper. They practically still use that for fraud. They use that for scam. They use that to sponsor whatsoever they want to sponsor, any illegality they want to sponsor. So we are not going to say because a technology has come into place that increases speed, that is meant for good, and is being used by evil by some, you're not going to centralize it and say everybody in this particular field. It is wrong. We need education. The government needs to be educated on that. This is a wonderful technology that can aid, apart from finance, it can aid so many stuff. The blockchain is an infrastructure way beyond finance. The blockchain is an infrastructure way beyond cryptocurrency that the youth are seeing it today. The blockchain is an infrastructure that can aid speed and legality in every single thing. So first of all, I think they need proper education. They need to understand what this technology is for. Definitely, the technology can be maximized by anybody to do whatsoever they want to do. But that doesn't mean that you're going to take that particular case and centralize it on everybody. The youth need to be informed. You are not doing an illegal stuff if you are into the blockchain industry. You are not doing anything illegal if you are building on a wonderful technology like the blockchain. You cannot tell me that everybody building on the website. When the website, when .com came out, it was accepted by everybody. As
very vehement position,
Rock.
Very vehement thoughts and opinions, and I'm very sure that those saddled with the responsibility of formulating these policies will take a cue from what you have reiterated and accept blockchain into the Nigerian space despite certain issues. I hear you're not alone in the studio. You're also joined by a government representative, is that correct? And if so, can we have him also share his thoughts in commemoration of the International Youth Day? Now, whilst we are having some issues with the relay and having Orock to also bring us on board with who is in the studio with him and his position on this, I'll come back to you, Barrister Titi Lokpe, as we look to wrap up this session, because we have another batch of youth advocates coming in to celebrate the day. Can we take your message in keeping with some of these shortfalls? The 2024 SDG report says only 17 of the goals are on track. What's your encouragement to Nigerian youth in playing their part in getting these goals back on track?
Well, my message to Nigerians is simple. Things might seem discouraging, things might not be encouraging for you as a young person living in Nigeria, but let's keep knocking, let's keep eating. Things will get better. The SDG goals are supposed to be ones that enhance our own existence for the generations coming, and it hasn't been so easy fulfilling each and every one of it in Nigeria. But definitely we won't give up. We'll keep striving to make the world a better place.
Well, we must thank you very much, Barrister Titi Lokpe, and for finding the time to come into the studio and share your thoughts with us on International Youth Day.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Now, do note that you two are not left out. You can send in your message in commemoration of the International Youth Day via our social media platforms at ADBN_TV, and we'll have them included on the show this morning. We'll take a short break, and when we return, more youths and youth advocates join the conversation in commemoration of today. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
In a nation rich with history and culture, Nigerians face challenges that test the resilience and spirit of our people. From devastating floods to raging fires, from terror of kidnappings to the violence of banditry, emergencies strike without warning.
Any person can be ambushed, but we have dominated the bushes.
But in the face of danger, heroes rise. Discover the dedication, bravery, and teamwork behind every rescue. Witness stories of survival, hope, and the unbreakable spirit of Nigerians.
I am Nkechi Issa, and I invite you to join me on a journey into the heart of Nigeria's emergency response efforts. Together, we can overcome any challenge. Join us as we explore the resilience and heroism that define Nigeria.
Emergency Response, every Sunday at 6 p.m. only on ADBN. Stay prepared, stay safe, stay strong.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura. I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's TV season.
I'm Miss Stems.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kubala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching. Don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching. Love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be.
And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now, you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN, keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Mwah.
Hey, Bobby.
Ha!
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Hello, I'm delighted to have you join us on the weather forecast for Monday. We start off the new week with prospect of morning rains to the coastal parts of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Ondo, and Oyo states. There are prospects of morning thunderstorms to parts of Plateau, Nasarawa, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, as well as the northeastern states, including parts of Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto, and Kebbi states. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, there are more chances of thunderstorms to most parts of the northern and the north-central region of the country, while to the southern region, intermittent rains are expected, particularly to the southeast, as well as Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers State. That's our bit from here. Thank you for watching.
You're welcome back to the program and thank you for staying with us. Still keeping with our topic of the day, it's International Youth Day, and of course it's themed youth. It's themed click to progress, youth digital pathways for sustainable development. And now we will be joined by Izu Divine Freeman from our Uyo studios. Izu Divine Freeman is the Chief Executive Officer of the Center for Strategic Enterprise Development, as CSED, focuses on startups, incubation, and supporting businesses in their digital transformation. Hello and good morning, Izu.
Yeah, good morning.
It's wonderful to have you join us on the program today. Very quickly
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Very quickly, let's set the ball rolling. It's International Youth Day, and I believe a lot of youth who are tuned into this program will be ready to listen to some of the proactive suggestions or discussions that will be held today. What does this theme mean for most youths across the world, especially youths in Nigeria, from cliques to progress, being that we have seen a lot of progress in the technology and innovation industry in the country?
Yeah, first I have to start by saying that for this represents an opportunity for youths. Generally, technology represents an opportunity for youths across the world, and the United Nations have put up today actually to celebrate these opportunities and also create an awareness for some of the youth that are not aware of the inherent opportunities that lie with technology, to open up and start exploring and start taking advantage of this. Number one, technology is enabler. So the technology is enabler, enables us to solve problems. And I can assure you that we have so many problems in Africa, in Nigeria in particular. And technology is the right guide to help the youth to move from the receiving point to the active point, from the point where they are complaining to the point where they start profiling solutions there by using the technology. So we have challenges in our healthcare systems, we have challenges in our education, we have challenge in different industries and all that. And technology has seen to be friendly tool and friendly platform and friendly enabler for you to start diving into these areas and start creating opportunities. And yeah, we are beginning to see things going on happening within Nigeria across different sectors. I was listening earlier to the previous speakers. And then we talked about the blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, and all that. And all these things represent opportunities across which we can apply in the financial sector. And now we begin to talk about fintech. And we can apply in the health sector. And we begin to talk about health tech. We can apply across different, and then also we have the additive manufacturing sector coming up very fastly thereabout, and people are beginning to cash into it to profile housing solutions, to profile solution start bridging gap for spare parts that we have in the huge gap that we have for spare parts in Nigeria and across Africa. So generally, it represents an opportunity, and it's a celebration of opportunities and awareness for youth to begin to take over to leverage an opportunity to begin to solve problems around them.
Well, certainly technology represents a huge opportunity for the youth of Nigeria and Africa at large. Earlier, we had a speaker in the studio who shared a different thought with regards to AI developments, around the world. A lot of people share sentiments that perhaps artificial intelligence is gradually taking jobs away from the hands of people, especially creatives. And she said that if you take a look at, for instance, a painting that is, hand done, it looks entirely different. It looks more appealing than paintings done by AI. But let me also take you back to the issues of NFTs and the rest that were in vogue in the last couple of years or so. If you look at NFTs, they are quite expensive. Even though not physical paintings that are done by hand, why do they seem so expensive and so important, especially in the artificial intelligence and technology space?
Well, one of the things about technology is that when we have new innovations, there are the cost of producing these innovations, because you are not mass producing those innovations from the initial stage. You are experimenting. You are trying to find out that to perfect this technology to be able to solve some certain problems thereabout. So what happened is that the entry point of every technology, and not just technology, across different industries, the entry point of every product is always high. Is always expensive because of the research and development costs that have gone into that. And then also because the innovators are not mass producing, they are still producing a little quantity to experiment and obtain the the potential customers' feedback. So make sure that it's solving the basic problems or the key problems, the pain points that they are meant to address. Now, what happened is that when technology moved from that particular initial entry stage and moved into the place where it has achieved what we call market fits, it becomes a market fit product, that this is really solving problem. This really helping people to achieve their end. What happened is that now different innovations, more innovations and more enablers that bear the cost begin to come up, and then new ways to mass produce begin to come on board, and thereabout, and then the cost of the technology start dropping thereabout. So when we look at costs, when it's associated with technologies, and mostly thereabout, it comes with the cost of research and development.
All right, Mr. Izu, I would have to hold you there. We will certainly get back to you during the course of this discussion. Now, remember that you can also join the discussion on our online platforms. Do well to keep it engaging and respectful as well. We have in the studio joining us two gentlemen, Honorable Ayodeji Mike Adebayo, who is the CEO of Pages Integrated ICT, alongside Mr. Rotimi Olawale, Executive Director, Youth Hub Africa. Gentlemen, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah,
well, Edie, I'll start with you, sir. Youth of Africa, in the last 1 year, has been the most proactive, in the words of a lot of persons who have given feedback following earlier appearances of your program manager, Mr. Shegun Madukbi, on the show, and some of the initiatives that you're carrying out. Today is a day when more youths are more expectant, because we keep talking about opportunities never being ever sufficient for the thinning youth population in Nigeria. Well, we had that dialogue on the National Policy for Youths. I would like for you to tell Nigerians where that is at, and if there are other youth opportunities that youths in Nigeria can say, today is the day I got this information in commemoration of the Youth Day and it benefited me as a youth.
I think that the theme of this year's International Youth Day, which looks at technology, is something that is poignant and that we want to encourage young people to continue to focus on. First, we must remember that as we talk about digital connection in our world today, not every young person in Nigeria is digitally connected, and also the cost of accessing the internet continues to remain a barrier. I remember a couple of months ago, a young gentleman sent me a message on WhatsApp, and I responded barely 1 minute after he was seeking an information, and I responded. And then he didn't come back to me until the next day for something I thought was urgent to him. And then I was asking him why. He said the moment he sent me the WhatsApp, he switched off his data because he had to preserve the data for the for the entire month. It was something that caught me by surprise because I was not in a position where I switch off my data. But that shows you the cost. So people will still continue to remember that the cost of internet continues to remain a barrier for many young people across Nigeria. But having said this, we must flip that and look at what are the opportunities that exist. What role can civil society organizations like ours play? What roles can government play in lowering the barriers, in creating opportunities for youth? And as we have seen in the last couple of weeks, young people in different parts of Nigeria have gone to the street to say, we're hungry, we're tired about the current situation in the country, and we want change. Unfortunately, I've seen images in certain states in Nigeria where a governor was inspecting wheelbarrows as part of youth empowerment. This is not the kind of empowerment we want to see in 2024. Young people deserve more. We need to connect them to opportunities. In some parts, digital opportunities. In some part, opportunities that put their hands on the ground in form of agricultural initiatives. In some parts, educational opportunities that they can build on to live a sustainable life. gain an income for themselves, mobilize resources, provide financing and funding into the hands of young people. No longer give them palliatives like 10,000 naira, one bag of rice. We want young people to access financing that they can experiment. That's what happens in other countries. People know when you give funds to young people, sometimes they will lose it, but they're going to gain some experience, and sometimes they can turn it around into a venture that will benefit themselves, their community, and the nation at large.
Well, coming back to you, Honorable Ayodeji, in line with what Mr. Rotimi has said now, you know, internet connection, internet connectivity, as cheap as it may seem to most people, isn't really accessible and cheap to others. Now, I remember back in the day, there used to be things like, you know, the cyber cafes and business centers that people would go in and pay a minute sum of money to browse the internet, maybe do some paperwork and all of that. But with the inflow of smartphones into the society, it seemed as if technology, internet connection would, you know, become something very accessible to everyone. But now we don't really see that happening, because there are still certain areas of the country where people don't even have access to a smartphone in the first place, not to talk of internet connection. How do we, you know, close up and bridge this gap?
Well, first off, talking about the cafe, that was a period, you know, IT, for the IT world, it grows over time.
Yes.
Back in the days, you are right, it used to be internet cafe, and people go there to pay and subscribe and browse and do whatever. Even as at that time, the internet connectivity was slow. You know, in the IT world, we have it used to be the GSM network, it used to be 2G, 3G, and right now we are moved to the 5G, even though we are not yet there. Well, for the accessibility, you know, our internet architecture in this country is based on BTS stations, if you know what I mean, BTS transceiver, that's mast and all of that.
Yes.
Well, but then we have satellite-based internet, like we have the multi-links, Starlink. You know, these things don't come cheap, and like Mr. Rotimi have said, it's really affecting the accessibility and ability to make use of it, because there are a lot of things the youth can do online. Like recently we had this Facebook and TikTok has monetized their site, so you can create content and you are paid directly and all of that. But without internet access, an issue. Now, talking of the phone and the hardware, they're also expensive. They don't come in cheap. Earlier on, back in the days, there was a time that phone, because I deal on gadgets too.
Yes.
There was a time that phones were not made for African markets. If you're bringing a phone into the country, because of the topography, it has to be unlocked first before you
use it.
Eventually, I think, as they realized that Africa was an emerging market and we have a lot of interested users, they started producing phone for African market, and now you just bring in yourself.
Yes.
So, but now what I'm looking at, we are moving from just the hardware. Our youths are willing to now go into creation, development, and not just accessing the hardware. Eventually, right now we're just doing content development. Eventually, it's time for us now doing coding and all of that. You know, robotics and all of that. There are a lot of opportunity out there when it comes to IT, when it comes to IT development. But if the government, because like Mr. Rotimi also said, don't create enabling environment for these youths to engage in and use these things, it will be an issue. When you see them crying out there, they're not crying for the government to come and give them phones. They're not crying for the government to come and give them these smaller things. They're looking for basic amenities like lights, like security, and what have you. Understand?
Yes.
So the only way to solve this is for the government to listen to the yearnings of our youths. We are here now speaking for the youths, to listen to the yearning of their youths, give them that enabling environment, provide what is necessary, and I think the youths have the mental capacity to do what they need to do.
Now, gentlemen, now that we've established that background of what the youths need in where we want to go to, and much like I agree with both of you, some of the challenges that are very pertinent are on how we form this as key policies. Statistics will tell us that by 2030, 57% of the world will be people under the age of 30. But despite these numbers, surprisingly, we're told that only 2.6% of these people are in parliament. They're either our legislators, House of Reps, our lawmakers, or even governors.
Yeah.
And if we don't have those people influencing decisions on needs assessments, people fear that we'll continue seeing wheelbarrows being inspected in terms of empowerment. How do you believe that we can reshape this approach to getting youth inclusivity through technology to sustain our development goals?
I think that there are many things to unpack from this. First, to get young people elected, as you know, in many parts of the world and including in Nigeria, prosecuting an election is a very expensive venture. Now, if you have a huge percentage of young people living below the poverty line, they can't even muster the resources to run for office. And let me link it back to the technology that we're talking about the other day, just now. I was speaking to a friend who was in the US and was telling me, because I don't have money to pay for subscription, I go to my community library to access internet for free. And these are the kinds of things that we want to see in Nigeria, where there are public spaces where young people can go to access technology, to access resources, to get access to vocational training, and to get information that will benefit their lives. These are the kinds of initiatives that we want to see government launch and provide for young people. Yes. In terms of getting our policies right as well, we stand at a critical juncture in Nigeria that if we're not careful, we have seen the first wave of protests. This has died down. This was organized. If we're not careful, we would see spontaneous protests where young people will hit the street across Nigeria because they are hungry, because they are angry, because their demands have not been met. And so it is important that policymakers seize this golden opportunity and say, if we get it right this time around, because what do young people need? And these things are things that we discuss on a daily basis. Access to opportunities, right? If Nigerian youths are not lazy. Some people will say youths are lazy. No, Nigerian youths are not lazy. Nigerian youth are one of the most dynamic set of young people you can find anywhere on the continent, actually anywhere in the world. Nigerian youths go everywhere across the world and they thrive. And that shows you that there's immense opportunity. They have the talent. And what I always say to people that talent is evenly distributed all over the world. What is not distributed is opportunities.
See, in light of this recent protest which you referred to, in Kano, the government officials were complaining that this need assessment was done and an ICT center was established. But during this protest, the youths destroyed it, and people were pointing to the fact that people are saying give them opportunities and technology, but these youths in that demography do not seem to need such investment. How do we it seems almost complicated. How do we balance this demographic? Let me get your thoughts, and then Chijoke.
Yes, certainly.
Well, the truth of the matter is, if you look very well at those guys that are vandalizing whatever it is, see, permit me to say, in that area, talking about Kano, right?
Yes.
Good. For them to say they have done need assessment and they saw that people needed this, there are a set of people that needs this. An IT person will not go into that place and vandalize that place because he knows the value. But when the society does not take care of these people by educating them, education is something that's very key. And if you look at statistics, most of those out of school is so high. You understand? So, but if, for example, I'm an IT person, I'm there, and 50 people are coming to vandalize, what I want to do, how do I stop that? You talk to you, even if you shout, how many of them are going to listen to you? So what I'm trying to say here is this: the level of illiteracy is equally high, in as much as we want to encourage you to do this and that, but the level of illiteracy among the same youth is high. But we still have those that, because using the IT capacity, we can share information. And like for me, as the FCTU chairman, we always thought about it. I know that the strength of any nation is mostly lies with the youth. But the youth, how informed are they? How educated are we? How prepared are we? If they were aware of what they were doing and the effect it was going to create, the negative effect it was going to create, they wouldn't have done it. I think I saw the governor of the Southern State, he came out to these youth and told them that this is our community. If we scatter it, it's still us that is going to lose funds to rebuild it. And believe you me, they reasoned with him. It doesn't have to do now with their level of education. It is enlightenment on the spot. But nobody was there to enlighten these people, to tell them this is what is going to happen. These are the effects of what you are doing. But if that has been done, say maybe in that state, I'm sure that would have been averted. I'm not blaming anybody. It has happened. It has happened. It is how to move on.
Well, coming back to you now, Mr. Rotimi, we all know that with all good innovations or inventions, there is always a good side and a bad side. There are pros and cons. And in terms of technology, internet connectivity, and all that, access to a lot of information on the internet by young people can be seen from a good point of view. It can also have adverse effects on young people, especially when they access illicit content on the internet. Now, I know it's a little bit tricky in terms of gatekeeping what people can or cannot browse on the internet. But how does this affect and shape in the mindset of young Nigerians who are exposed to some of these, things that would likely be termed as illicit or immoral?
I think that there are a number of ways to this. First, I always say is that, one, we need to understand and delineate the sets of young people that we're working with. I always say that anybody below the age of 18, we need to provide the necessary guardrails on the kinds of content they can access on the internet. And as today, also part of information sharing is that there are a number of tools that parents can use to control their kids' phone, to block certain sites that they can visit. There's an app that you can download, put on your children's phone. If they need to download any app, the parents need to provide the permission, and you can shut down the child's phone at any point. I have a cousin who shuts down his phone at 8 p.m. every day, and the phone doesn't come up until 7 a.m. There's nothing the child can do because you have to go to bed. 8 p.m. the phone shuts. So there are all kinds of tools that you can do to that. Secondly, we also need to know that one of the things we say to young people is that don't think because people feel this is me, Rotimi. On social media, I bear a different name. So that person is a different person. I can do and undo. But there are rules. The rules that govern a society in real life still governs the society on the internet. Yes. So if you commit fraud on the internet and you feel I am invisible, you can be traced and be punished according to the rules. If you go and reveal somebody's nudity on social media, you can be traced and punished on the rules. So we need to ensure our young people understand that we live in a rule-based society, that whatever you do, especially even in the digital age, remains permanently frozen in time. Like if you do something on the internet, and as we see, even recently when ministers were being appointed in Nigeria, people are bringing tweets from several years ago and say, "Oh, honorable minister, you said this, you said this about this," So people are going to call back some of the things that you have said. And that's why
I think it's called digital footprints.
Yes, you maintain your digital footprint, and that's why we always caution young people that don't just think about today. Ask yourself, 20 years from now, when I'm married and I have kids, would I be proud if the content I'm putting out today will be displayed to my children? And for me, those are the guardrails that we need to put. And if we put those guardrails in place, our young people can innovate. And like he was saying the other time, we need to move away from consumers. We need to move our young people away from consumers into innovating, into developing the apps, into developing the solution. Like Nairoland was built by young Nigerians here, and it continues to remain one of the most vibrant platforms for young people in Nigeria and in the diaspora. And we need many more such platforms to be built by our young people.
Now, let's talk more about how we affect the change we want from the top. That's in policies. Now, Nigerian youths, despite the myriad of opportunities in our digital space, however the limitations may be, have also complained about the lack of a Digital Rights Act to protect them. I know it happened back when Twitter had its downtime in Nigeria owing to what the federal government felt was a lack of compliance with the laid down rules, like you've said, we need in Nigeria. But people have also faulted the fact that our constitution or even the law in Nigeria has limitations in being able to adequately guard our digital space. Some lawmakers, much like Desmond Elliott, have received a clamp down from what he says it should be more like a regulation of social media. The focus has always shifted from, do we need a Digital Rights Act? What we do? We did clamp down on social media. The youth have some of these concerns. Let's get your thoughts on this development as well.
Well, first, just to add my quick point before we go to my colleague is that I always laugh because when people are in government, they talk about social media regulation. And when they leave government, they become activists. They say, "Hey, don't touch social media anymore." What government needs to understand that technology is an evolving space, right? A few years ago, 5 years ago, nobody was talking about AI. Yeah. Now everybody everywhere in the world are saying, "How do we regulate?" Even on WhatsApp, you know. So how do we respond to AI? The thing about innovation is that you don't want to overly regulate innovation. You want to ensure that you put in the guardrails and watch as innovation grow. If you overly regulate, you're going to stifle the innovation that young people are going to lead. That's the first thing. The second thing, as you have earlier said, majority of those in parliament are not even young people. They don't know how this innovation works. You need to consult and sit with the young people and say, "Tell me, how does this thing work? What do you do on TikTok? How do you make money? These skits that you people do all over the place, do you make money from it? How does the income come?
How do you remove the money?
The only time they talk about regulation is when they abuse them on social media. They say, hey, then they suddenly remember we need to regulate. We need hate speech. Hey, how can you talk to elders like that? We need to leave that aside. It's one of the things about leadership. Yeah, we're paying you taxpayers' money. You get the good ones. Sometimes the bad ones will come. They will abuse you once in a while. But we need to stand back and watch this innovation, protect this innovation, and say, how do we benefit? How do our young people in Nigeria become the forefront, the leaders of innovation in Africa? And that's what we need to continue to do.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, moving on from what you said, like you rightly stated, those that make the decision for us are usually people that are beyond, they are no more youths, so they don't understand these things. Yeah. You see, like when Twitter was shut down for a while, we lost a lot of money. A lot of youths make their daily living from Twitter. A lot of companies advertise there, and we lost all of that. That was because these people didn't understand this. But talking about the act, there are some parts of the constitution that guides people already. Like when you go online to expose somebody's nudity, there's a right that covering that person. You know, there are a lot of the part of the constitution that already protects. But if they really want to do anything that has to do with limiting what we can do on social media, they should engage the youths, hear from them, understand how these things work. Because if you don't know how something works, you'll be working from a bias. And when Desmond was saying something about social media regulation and all of that, he might have been coming from an angle that is good. But without passing the right information to these people and engaging them and making them understand, these are the reasons. Whatever you're doing, you have to make people understand. If they don't understand, everybody will come from his own individual angle, and there will be chaos. And it has affected him politically, and it has even affected the Nigerian youth populace, always looking at, okay, if they want to make any decisions, we don't want it, if it has to do with social media. But the truth of the matter, for me, if you ask me, there are some regulations that they will do that will be to the advantage of us, the youth. Like now, like I said, they just monetized whatever now. But if the legislative arm of the government has been involved before now, why? Because there's no company that, be it Google, be it Facebook, be it TikTok, whatever that's coming to this country that do not have government approval.
Oh, okay, I've been informed that we need to close and we're going to join more guests virtually.
Okay.
Before both of you go, your stakeholders in the FCT, I hear there's a FCT Youth Development Policy. How much of that engagement, in a minute or two, that will go to you to get more guests? Talking about the immediate environment, the FCT Youth Development Policy, what's the goal?
Well, I think that two things have happened recently in the FCT. As you know, as part of the clamor by young people, the minister has approved the creation of the FCT Youth Secretariat, the first in FCT in FCT's 48 years of existence, and then a mandate secretary. Yes, a mandate secretary has now been appointed, which then means that if you compare to other states, it means that Abuja now has a commissioner for youth and now has a ministry for youth. And before that, we had been pushing a process where we're developing an FCT youth policy. So all of this works together with the new mandate secretary in place. An FCT youth policy would probably be completed within the next couple of weeks. And then we move to the real work, which is implementation. And I hope that the government will ensure that implementation is done for the benefit of youth in the FCT.
Well, Honorable Ayodeji, your take?
Yeah, he has said it all. We have the mandate secretary. Also, I also need to bring it to your notice that he used to be Minister of Youth and Sports, but now we have the FCT Youth Minister. Not together enough. The sport is different, and that's a good one.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Well, joining us from our Uyo studios, we have Hanson Johnson, who is a technical talent developer and also doubles as CEO of Stats Innovation Hub, country mentor to Google developers, and president IBOM Innovation Network, organizers of Akwa Ibom Tech Week. Currently working with the World Bank and United Nations on digital literacy projects in Nigeria.
Well, we'll be joining Mr. Hanson, and we're hopeful that we'll have more of you also joining virtually. It's the Youth Day. If we have conversations about ourselves and we're not here to add into it, I think the aim is defeated. So do well to join in. We'll take a break and have more of your reactions to the International Youth Day in the perspective of our sustainable development goals.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steve Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Nanradi Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Ucheoba.
It's Today season.
I'm Miss Stems.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kubala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Mwah.
Hey, Bobby.
Ah!
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
Hello, I'm delighted to have you join us on the weather forecast for Monday. We start off the new week with prospect of morning rains to the coastal parts of Cross River, Ibom, Ondo, and Oyo states. There are prospects of morning thunderstorms to parts of Nasarawa, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, as well as the northeastern states, including parts of Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto, and Kebbi states. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, there are more chances of thunderstorms to most parts of the northern and the north-central region of the country, while to the southern region, intermittent rains are expected, particularly to the southeast, as well as Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers states. That's our bit from here. Thank you for watching.
World of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues. It is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Discussion. Earlier, I had introduced Hanson Johnson, who is a technical talent developer and CEO of Start Innovation Hub. We are also being joined today by Chidebere Ibe from Zambia, who is a Forbes featured medical illustrator, TEDx speaker, a medical student, and a professional among the few in Africa. As he is the founder of Championing Change Africa, his journey has been defined by authenticity, relentless hard work, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Well, gentlemen, if you can hear us, good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. It's International Youth Day, and discussions have trailed the theme of this year, from clicks to progress. Very quickly, what does this mean for most Nigerian youths?
Progress means hope, means that bright future that we have been envisaging, means that level playground that once you have access and you can click, there's bound to be progress. So we look forward to encouraging as many more people click so that we can progress. And by so doing, we make Nigeria the greatest nation that we look forward to have as our own. Thank you.
Innovation Hub, and I believe you work a lot around technology, AI, innovations, and all of those sort of things. There's actually a topic of interest, especially regarding stigmatization of people who are known to be tech savvy, people who are known as tech bros or tech sis in this context, especially by security operatives in the country. That is the point I want you to make. How can we create a level playing ground where this stigma is taken away and people are allowed to freely express themselves in the creative way that they know how to do?
In a way, during your last session with the other guests, you attempted to answer even that question, because why people harass, why the security operatives harass, they don't understand. And before now, your wealth was supposed to be, you have to attain a certain level of age, before you can be seen as being wealthy. But today, information is everywhere. If you're not doing well, it means you are limited to the kind of information you are accessing. So the younger ones that can access this information are taking advantage of it, and they are using it to live a better life. I am not saying that there are no bad eggs that are doing other things, still to live in quotes a better life by being a victim or by making victims out of innocent people. So those ones are there. But there are more intelligent ways to fetch out these people. You don't have to harass someone to be able to harass someone and jail the person before you now apologize that, oh, sorry, we thought you were this kind of person. And it has even gone worse at some points that we see that even when you have proved beyond every reasonable doubt that you are not one of those people, they still harass you and extort from you. So education, not in the part of the young people alone, but in the part of the security operatives, will also help solve this problem. I'm solutions oriented, and whenever I have the opportunity, I always do what I can to educate the security operatives so that next time they meet a young person, they will not harass them, but they do their work with intelligence, and it makes life easy for everyone. That's what I think.
Now, we'll come back to you, Hanson Johnson, in a bit to tell us more about some peculiarities with the Akwa Ibom Tech Week and what's happening in the Uyo space. But let's cross over now to Chidebere Ibe, who is in Zambia and joins us virtually. He has been featured by Forbes in an attempt to include technology in groundbreaking medical interventions, especially from the perspective of the Black fetus illustration. Hello, Chidebere, can you hear us? Good morning. Back in 2021, you shocked Nigeria and the continent as a whole. Can you talk us through how you came about the initiative to become a medical illustrator?
All right, thank you. So I think that was in 2020 during the lockdown where I met my mentor, Dr. Ulrich Sydney, who was at Harvard at then. So then I had passion for medicine and art, and he said to me, why not go into medical illustration? Why not combine your passion for art and medicine? And for me, I was like, okay, that is a great idea, but while making research around, medical illustrations, I realized that, there is so much that we can do in terms of representing Black people in medical literature. So pretty much I started learning how to, because prior then I was just an artist, so I had to learn how to use Photoshop, and I had to learn how to, draw medical illustration, the anatomy. And back then I wasn't a medical student, and on YouTube, there were no tutorials on YouTube that teaches you how to be a medical illustrator. So everything I learned was self-taught. I had to learn how to use Photoshop, and I had to learn how to draw anatomy, from scratch. And it was pretty much a difficult process. But I think in that journey, I realized that, there's so much I can do with medical illustration. So that's pretty much how I started illustration. I think that was pretty much during the lockdown in 2020.
Now, do you think off the back of what you've been able to achieve, I'm very sure a lot of people will laugh when you say medicine and arts as a subject in the university. This is just in the span of 4 years, you perfected understanding anatomy and being able to illustrate it using technology. Do you think that our curriculum needs to shape in a form to embrace an inclusion of the sciences and arts to birth maybe a special department of medical arts for Black illustration to gain grounds on what you have been able to set a ground for?
Absolutely. I mean, that has been what I've been advocating for, a review in medical curricula, because there is an integral part of art in medicine, right? For example, those who are training to be surgeons, right, who are going to be dissecting, the human body, you need to have an artistic mindset to be able to dive down into the complexity of the human body, right? And that's what art helps you achieve. So if you're training medical students to be good at diagnosing, to be good at being a great surgeon, I mean, there's a need to integrate art into what they learn. I mean, recently there was an article that I read some time ago that showed that students who had artistic prowesses did better, right, and became better medical doctors, became good at diagnosing conditions, and they had better outcome in healthcare. So I strongly believe that art has a key role in improving outcome for medicine. And for me, for example, training to be a medical doctor, for example, I've had cases where I diagnosed some skin conditions that doctors had missed. Last month, I had a patient who, one of my followers on Instagram reached out to me and said, oh, her doctor was misdiagnosed 4 times by different doctors who were trained, who are professionals, because they didn't know how certain skin conditions look like on Black skin. But while looking at the image she sent to me, at the split of a second, I knew what the condition was. And that is because I've been exposed to a lot of illustrations that show how these images look like on Black skin. So art in medicine has greater outcomes, can improve greater outcome for a patient, and can also train medical students to be better at diagnosing these certain skin conditions.
Well, just stay with us. We'll come back to get your message in commemoration of the International Youth Day, but we'll come back to our studio in-house here. Chijioke?
Well, joining us here in the studio is Ambassador Phil Roberts, who is Executive Director, Tourism Volunteers Initiatives for Sustainable Development. Ambassador, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Well, quite noteworthy, you recently undertook a walk from Abuja to Delta State in promotion of tourism in the country. How was that?
It was great. It was extremely great.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much.
When you say it's great, you make people feel like it's an easy thing. No leg cramps, no...
I had a bit of that in the journey, but my goal was to achieve the reason why I started the trek, so it wasn't a problem for me.
Tell us about that reason. Does this symbolize that our roads are free of what they say is insecurity and making it difficult for people to travel. You were on foot, not with
Okay, so a lot of times I'm a rock musician. I'm the president of Rock Music Federation. I'm also the vice president, Association of Entertainment Practitioners. So I'm in the creative industry, and most times when I travel out of the country for my rock music shows, people take me to different places like, oh, let's visit the safari, let's visit this. And when you go to those places, you see them showcasing their tourism potentials. When you drive through the streets of those countries, you see them showcasing the colors on the flags of their countries. But when you come back to Nigeria, it's different. Immigration is embarrassing you, custom is embarrassing you, road safety and all that. So I decided that what can we do different to see how we can promote tourism in Nigeria, and how can we now promote the tourism investment potentials of Nigeria. So that was the reason for the trek. And most times people make it look like immediately you get into Nigeria, they kidnap you. So it's a wrong notion for our youths. So that was why I tried to see how I can change the narrative. Look at the guys that I've just spoken. These are Nigerians. They are not in Nigeria. He's not in Nigeria. The guy doing the medicine. He's not in Nigeria, but he's doing great things. So I try to see how I can showcase what Nigerian youths are doing and the various opportunities we have in Nigeria apart from oil. So that was how I decided that I was going to trek from Abuja to Delta State and from Delta State. And we called the project Tourism Across the Niger. So in Tourism Volunteers Network, we have about 7,000 youths. 7,000 members, sorry, over 70% of all of my members are youth, and we're in 17 states. Recently, we just opened a branch in Cameroon. We're in another 4 countries. Yeah. So we've been doing well, and we're like, how can we encourage people to come and invest in Nigeria? So that they don't keep running away from Nigeria in this period. So that was one of the reasons why I decided that I want to showcase to the world and showcase to the government that tourism can work in Nigeria, and that's why I trekked.
You mentioned that you are a rock musician.
Yeah.
Rock in Nigeria is quite a unique genre to be involved in. Don't you think? How is that coming along?
I've been doing well. I host a program every year. It's called Rock Music Festival, where we used to showcase rock music, and all these things are geared towards tourism promotion. So rock music is a unique kind of music. We have our own kind of crowd, which is usually the diplomatic community. So what I do is that in every of my programs and projects, I use it to marry the diplomats and the Nigerian populace together to see how we can migrate friendship and build a lot of things to see how we can.
But how is the reception from Nigerians towards rock music?
Yeah, a lot of people. So rock music has its own kind of crowd. Like I said, like listening to people who are well traveled, who are like a certain age of people. Though one of the challenges we're having is that Nigerians like Afro music and all of that. But rock music passes a message. When you listen to rock music, there are some things you don't hear. You're always trying to pass a message through rock music. So that was one of the reasons why rock music is being now being accepted in Nigeria through the creative industry.
Well, we wish you well in all your surgeons, and we're hopeful that this tourism potentials exceed beyond the limits of Nigeria and the states where you're represented to becoming more of an international affair.
Of course, yes. We're planning Nigeria to Ghana from January.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now, we still have guests who joined us virtually. Let's get our parting shots from Chidi Ebere in Zambia. And let's get a message to the youths across the world, particularly Nigerians in diaspora, and how we can sustain development growth in Nigeria by being good ambassadors.
All right, thank you so much for that. My closing thought would be that I'm just going to quote what one of my friends always said, Tunde Onokoya, that it's possible to do great things from small places, right? For me, rising to success has been, I grew up in Uyo. I've been in Uyo all my life, but I wasn't thinking Uyo, right? I was thinking global. So it is possible that wherever you are as a Nigerian, as a black person, that you can create a sustainable change in the environment by identifying a problem, right, and being willing to solve that problem, right? And I strongly believe that everyone who's constantly doing his or her best, right, with no amount of complacency or doing a amount of genuineness, right, would definitely have great success. And this has always been my message to young people, right? Or identify a problem, right? Find yourself, right, and then you become that solution to your problem. And just to wrap it up by saying that, success is guaranteed to everyone, right? But the journey has never always been easy. So, but I just want to encourage everyone out there that, as young people, we need to see how to create changes in the environment and see how to promote Nigeria's name and change the negative narrative.
Thank you very much, Chidi Ebere. We appreciate you. Time is almost not our friend. We appreciate you, and we wish you all the best in your sojourns. Now, quickly, let's go to Uyo and take our parting shots from Hansen. Much like Chidi Ebere, who started in Uyo. Hansen is in Uyo, and they've been able to put together the Ibom Tech Week. That's Akwa Ibom Tech Week. Tell us about that and your parting message on the day.
A common platform, a gateway to Africa's new tech destination, which is Akwa Ibom, and that's what we are building towards. And it's happening 28th October to 2nd November. It's a whole week. And coincidentally, Innovation Support Network Nigeria will also have their annual gathering that week. So the whole Nigeria tech ecosystem will be in Uyo the whole of that last week of October. And we are looking forward to also having you there. My parting shots is to Nigerian youth. When you click, you are definitely going to be having access to information. Whatever information you have access to, use it to build our local communities, your local community, so that Nigeria can be a place others will want to jump to.
Thank you very much, Hansen Johnson, for finding the time to come on the show and share your thoughts with us today. It's been a pleasure having you. Well, that's the much we can take on the program today. It's been a fully packed one, don't you think so, Beaton?
Yes, it is. Indeed, in commemoration of the International Youth Day, please remember the theme for the 2024 celebration, From Cliques to Progress, Youth's Digital Pathway for Sustainable Development. Well, you can also remember to watch this episode again to tap from the wealth of experienced youths who have shared their stories to inspire you on our YouTube channel. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to another youth-focused endeavor, as our Abuja sports editor joins us on the show in a build-up to the restart of a new football season. Stay with us.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jeko Kor. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura. I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's the season.
I'm Miss Stems.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kuvala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be.
And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.